All right, you are listening to another fun-filled episode of Geek Vice, the official podcast of long walks on the beach, especially here in Kansas.
Welcome, everybody, to Geek Vice episode 116, proving any vice with enough geek can become a virtue. I want to give a special shout out before we get started here to Mr. Sinigers, aka Bill from Prolific Games class. Thanks, guys, for listening and help us setting a new record in February for most downloads. And I hope you guys and girls are enjoying what you're hearing and keep coming back. So
And I
thanks,
hope we
guys.
didn't corrupt too many.
They're Bill's kids. Bill is their teacher. We can't corrupt them any more than Bill already is.
This is true, but I have a tendency to swear like a sailor, so hopefully
That is true.
hopefully I didn't screw that up. See, look, I'm even trying to not.
Don't repeat anything we say, at least to Bill. All right. Welcome, guys. My name's Morph. That guy's Kip over there. Good evening, Kip.
Good evening.
How are you doing this week?
It's Monday. I am, for some reason, beat. It's like the week has already beat me up, and I still have 4 more days to go.
Yeah, there's no hope for you then.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the pick.
So, did you do anything fun over this last week?
Oh, I don't know if you consider driving to Omaha, Nebraska fun.
Oh, yeah, you did do that.
Yeah, and of course, every time I go to Omaha, it snows.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was cold and it snowed.
Did you get to see Doug and Eddie?
Got to see Doug and Eddie. Yeah, hung out. Went to sushi with Eddie.
Nice.
Doug had other plans.
Of course.
Probably just didn't want to hang out with us, which I can't blame him. But yeah, it was a good time. We went for sushi. Drank a little bit. Eddie had a head cold, so we just kind of kept it low key. And
nice.
While we were sitting in the restaurant, looked out the window, and go, "Hey, look, it's snowing." Of course, it's snowing. I'm in Omaha, but it didn't stick. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, it just was the matter. I think it was like the weather went, "Well, you're here. We got to do something."
Might as well.
Yeah. So it was good. And then the weekend was one of those catch up on everything weekends, go to the grocery store, Costco, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Spend billions of dollars on food and supplies because we were lax and hadn't kept up on that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I should. You know what I did on Saturday night? I'm trying to look it up real quick now. I went to a new brewery here in the Kansas City area, and I have to recommend people going to this brewery. It is called Red Crow Brewery, and it is located in Spring Hill, Kansas. So this isn't going to help anyone who's outside of the Kansas City area, but if you're in the Kansas City area and you like good micro brew, check out Red Crow Brewery. It's in Spring Hill, Kansas. It's on Lone Elm Road. And they do have a website that is on redcrowbrew.com. Check it out. They've got 5 beers that they have on tap that they do, I guess you call it year-round. They're all named after girls. So I believe the story is that they're named after influential women in their lives.
So porn stars?
Not exactly porn stars.
Oh, their influences, not mine. Okay.
Right. They've got Isabella, Donna, Elaine, Francis, and Luis. So it's kind of awesome because you're always making comments like, "Hey, can you pass me Donna over here?"
Yeah, we shared an Isabella over the weekend. It was great.
Exactly. They've got food trucks that come out to their brewery. So they've got a schedule of different food trucks that'll come out, so you get some food out there. It's a lot of fun. It's a good atmosphere. The beer is really good. They sell growlers, so you can go buy yourself a growler, which if you don't know what that is, it's a really big jug, like almost like milk jug worthy. I don't know that if it's officially in a gallon. I think it's actually a little over a gallon. Um, but it looks like, the old milk jugs that you see like moonshine and stuff in, like the
Oh
big
yeah,
the
yeah.
big jugs in the movie that say XXX on them.
The kind they use in the jug bands.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's a big jug like that, and they'll fill it up with beer, and then they'll put some tape around the label so that you can drive in Kansas. So it's not considered an open container. And then you can take it home. And the only trick with those is they are not carbonated, or like it's not pressurized. So it's like you need to drink it within 3 or 4 days. So
You had it done before you got home?
yeah, we had it done that night. So
Sorry, officer, I only had one.
oh, but man, it's some good stuff. They have some really good beers. It was a lot of fun, and the atmosphere there is really cool too. They've got they actually is kind of neat thing is they have board games actually there. They
Oh no,
have
my kind of place.
a bookshelf of board games. Now, I mean they're your old school board games like Battle of the Sexes or
Monopoly and stuff like that.
yeah. But I'm sure. I mean, those guys were so laid back with the atmosphere that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe we do that for our next gaming night. We go get everybody to meet down there and bring a game down and sit there and have some of their beer and play a board game.
Should talk to those guys. International Tabletop Gaming Day is coming up.
Ooh,
The end of April.
yeah, maybe we do that. That's definitely. I gotta write that down.
Wow, making plans on the air. Love it.
Oh yeah. So if you guys follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, Facebook's probably the best place to find that because I tend to be too wordy for Twitter. Um,
Damn those 140 character limits.
yeah. But if you follow us on Facebook and we end up doing something like this and do like an official thing, official Geek Vice thing out at Red Crow, and follow us on there and we'll let you know and you guys can join us.
Sweet. I like this idea. Oh, I like it. Well, we got to do something because this is a horrible time of the year TV wise for myself. And plus the weather's getting warmer, so that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But so this weekend, it's like I got to find something to watch. So you ever had one of those deals where you get on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu and you just pick something and hope it's a good TV show that you'll get hooked into? You ever do that?
No.
What?
No, partly because I'm so far behind on everything else, I just go find one of the like millions of shows or movies on either Netflix or on my hard drive that I haven't watched yet or on the Roku, and I pull it up and watch that. So like last night. But anyway, what did you find on Netflix?
Well, I have PlayStation View.
Yeah.
And I have Showtime through it.
Okay.
So I thought, you know what, I'll flip through there, see what I can find. It has Penny Dreadful and things like that, but I wasn't into that. So have you heard of a show called Shameless?
I have, yeah.
William H. Macy. Basically this white trash family. Well, you can't start from the beginning. So I just picked an episode. I thought I'll just give it a shot, see what the hell. And I don't know. I'm going to have to find a way to get the beginning of this thing so I can kind of catch up. It's actually surprisingly good. Sad in a way, but it's good. It's like Idiocracy, but with a crack pipe, basically. These people are bad news, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
The episode I watched, it was decent. but I wanted to like maybe catch up, maybe from the beginning. Maybe that would change, the way I feel about it. And it has its good qualities. I got to see Emmy Rossum topless. I appreciate that as much as anybody else does. So I was good with that. Also, Sherilyn Fenn, which I wasn't too excited about. Maybe 30 years ago, that would have been pretty cool. But in 2015, not so great.
Right.
Sorry, Sherilyn. That's the way it works. So watch one episode of that. It's like, maybe if I can catch it from the beginning. Tonight we tried. Oh, what the hell was that show called? It was like 10 minutes ago, and I can't even remember. Oh, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I think so.
Basically, this Jewish lawyer from New York is basically crushing on this guy that lives in West Covina, California. So she finds a job there, moves to West Covina. And there's musical numbers, but it's not pervasive. It's like one at the beginning, one at the end kind of a thing. So it's not too bad. The show's kind of silly. A little bit. It's kind of fun to watch. It pokes fun at California quite a bit, which, living out in the middle of nowhere like we do, we can appreciate that.
Yeah.
The few times I've been to California, I did think these people are a little out there, a little weird. So they kind of pokes fun at that. So we watched a couple episodes of that. My complaint has nothing to do with the show. My complaint is, what the fuck Hulu is the title of this complaint. This is the first season of this show. So you go on Hulu, and it has the show. Starting with episode 8.
See, that's annoying.
It's completely annoying. But I figured, you know what? Shows like Parks and Recreation. I just happened to be flipping through the channels one day, stopped on an episode, thought, this is hilarious. It was like middle of season 5 or something, and then we just found ways, I think it was on Netflix or something, and caught up. So I thought, well, maybe it's going to be one of those things. Don't know the whole storyline. Maybe it'll be funny enough that we'll get kind of attached to it and want to catch it from the beginning, much like the Shameless thing.
Yeah.
But really, Hulu, come on.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying, and I don't know why Hulu does that. I'm sure it's
money.
Well, it's part of it, I'm sure, is money, and then part of it, I'm sure, is server space too. But I mean, if you can't handle the load, then get out of the kitchen. That doesn't make any sense. But
it was a valiant effort.
But you know what I mean. I mean, if you can't handle having all these shows and having this selection and being able to provide making it available to everyone all the time, then don't have that many. Then don't be as good as Netflix. I think it's asinine to have a middle of a season. Now, I could understand maybe not having the first season on there and just having maybe the second season, but even that would be kind of pushing it. But only having the middle of the season, only having not carrying it from the beginning to the end of a season is stupid and makes you no better than trying to watch live TV.
Yeah. And if it is a server space thing, I have a suggestion for them. Go to your trailers page, and the 50,000 trailers on there of movies nobody's ever fucking heard of, get rid of those.
Yeah.
Or the trailers for movies that came out 2 years ago, go ahead and get rid of those. I think it's okay.
Yeah. If the movie is available to be watched, then you can take the trailer off of your page.
There was stuff on there like Winter Soldier's trailer stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about Human Centipede? You should look up and see if they have Human Centipede.
I don't even want to. I watched that one time and I'm still scarred. So I can't even watch the trailer. Yeah, so if it's a server space, call me, Hulu, just give me a call. I will walk you through what to remove. Nobody will miss it at all.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's like Hulu's not as bad as this, but go to Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime and look at their movie selection.
Yeah.
If you've heard of more than half of those, we need to talk. Um, there's some stuff on there you're like, holy shit! What trash can did they dig this out of?
Yeah, there's I can agree with that. I mean, everybody's trying to be the next Netflix. You know, they're trying to chase Netflix. And I mean, some of these people even so much as paying, millions of dollars for the rights to show some, old TV shows, but because I know there was a battle for Cheers and what was some of the others ones?
Probably Seinfeld.
Seinfeld and Simpsons and all that stuff, which
Yeah.
is, that's fair. But in the same sense, like Hulu, if you were to win Simpsons and you couldn't show all of those, you could only show part of them. Do you know how asinine that would be? Like if
It'd be
somebody
pretty
wants to go
bad.
back and watch a specific episode and you can't put it up there, that's not going to help you. Like
No.
same thing with Seinfeld. If you don't have the episode up there that person then wants to go watch, because the only people going back and rewatching episodes of Seinfeld are people who have seen Seinfeld. You're not getting
Yeah.
new people into watching Seinfeld because it's not that type of a show.
No. And if you want to save money or server space or both, you don't have to get zombie beavers. You can go ahead and not put that up on your site.
Well,
And
I
I
don't
would
know.
like to tell you I just made that up, but no, it exists on there.
I
So,
kind of want to see that one.
yeah, it on
Sounds like-
Netflix, it kind of gives you the 3 stills from the movie.
Yeah.
If you hover long enough, yeah, it's fantastic. You could tell it was special effects by accident, that kind of a movie. But
Oh, that's awesome.
they could cut those out, give us a few more episodes of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
So Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, call me. I can help cull the herd for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my tirade for the day.
You're perfectly good. So you randomly pick things out. I have been specifically finding things that I haven't watched. Well, first of all, the kids have been. We've been trying to do one night a week watching a movie. We call it family movie night. Kids all get ready for bed early, and we sit and watch a movie before bed. And the kids have been really into sports movies. So we're like, well, what better than to start from the beginning, one of the best sports kids movies ever, and watch Mighty Ducks.
Hell
So we
yeah.
watched the first 3 Mighty Ducks over the last couple weeks. And last night we actually decided that, you know what? My oldest boy is really into football right now. Well, actually, both kids are really into football. And of course, there's no football on TV. So we got to go find a good kids football movie. So we turned to The Little Giants.
The annexation of Puerto Rico, wasn't that the play?
That was the play. Oh, and it was so funny. Oh, it was so that movie was really great. And it was really fun because I had to explain to Reese who the professional football players were when they showed up. You remember that part of the movie where John Madden's driving in the bus and he's lost and stops and he's like, yeah, we're started here. We're trying to get to Canton and we go this and we do this and we cut over this way. And then we got to get here and scribbles all over the map. He's like, and we're completely lost. And so it's, guys like Emmitt Smith and I think Bruce Smith was in there and John Madden, a couple other guys. And so it was like me having to go okay, well, this guy, this is his name and this is the position he played and this is what he was known for. It's like trying to explain why Emmitt Smith is talking about, running the ball. And I'm like, well, that's because he was a running back and he is one of the best running backs ever to play. And, it's like, he's like, whoa. I can't remember at what point somebody had said Emmitt Smith and he looks at me and goes, Dad, Did he just say Alex Smith? No. Emmett Smith and Alex Smith are two completely different people, not related.
One's a Hall of Famer, the other one is not.
Yeah. So, but that was loads of fun, and of course, we one of the advantages to having family movie night means that the kids usually end up going to bed early because we try to make sure these movies get done before bedtime, and that gives me time to gets me either in the mood to watch a movie or um, watch a bunch of TV shows. And last night I ended up watching a movie. I ended up watching The Kingsman,
Oh,
which
love
I thought was fabulous. I thought that movie was great. Way should deserve a way higher rating or praise than it got in the theaters, because I heard it was good in the theaters, but I never heard that it was, it just didn't have the same buzz. And maybe it was timing, because I think it also came out around Ant-Man time. Um, so maybe it was just the timing of it. It didn't get the buzz because of the other movies that came out around it. But it's really fun movie. It's comedic. It's a comedic movie, but it has a story with it. Sometimes your comedies, like, I mean, Austin Powers is probably, that's a comedic spy movie, but the story in Austin Powers is terrible. Like, it doesn't make sense. But in The Kingsman, the story makes sense. And I've also decided that my favorite villain plot is when they consider humans a virus that needs to be eradicated or destroyed. I love that premise. I liked it when it was in The Matrix, and that's what the premise is in The Kingsman too. That the Earth is going to destroy itself because humans are viruses, and either the virus is going to take over and there won't be an Earth, or the Earth is going to wipe out all the humans.
Either
So,
way.
yeah, it was really good. I loved it. Now,
What did
if
you
you
think
go,
of Samuel L. Jackson with a lisp?
I thought it was awesome. I just got a huge grin on my face when the first scene when he opens the door and he's standing there. I'm like, oh yeah, that is awesome. I didn't even realize he was in the movie, so that was really good. That was a nice surprise for me.
Yeah, and
Now,
I liked the fireworks scene.
oh, that was great. Uh, and that's the thing. This is over the top. Like, this is over the top, um, crazy antics type stuff. But if you stop and think about it, it still is. It still seems to be grounded in a sense of reality. So the villain's plot and the villain's methods seem to be grounded in reality. The idea of the Kingsman seems to be grounded in a sense of reality. They do over the top things, but the stuff that they were doing wasn't so far over the top that you go, oh, well, that's just goofy, like, sharks with freaking laser beams on them.
Lasers.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Colin Firth he was very classy in the movie. I thought he worked out really well.
yeah.
The kid, I don't know what the kid's name is, but I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Even was it Michael Douglas was in this one? Michael Doug? No. Now I
Yeah, I
gotta
don't
look it
remember
up.
him in there.
It was the old guy, Chester Arthur.
Oh, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Why did I? You know what I meant. See, I
You
was
even threw
close.
me off. It took me a minute.
It was the old guy. So, yeah, um it was good. I liked it. Oh, Mark Hamill's in it too. I forgot about that. He was in there for a little bit. That was good. But yeah, the kid who plays Eggsy,
Eggsy. Yeah.
Taron Egerton, he was really good. He fit the role perfectly. I kind of like the idea. I kind of like the kind of punk kid was really good. Was an amazing, had the chance to be amazing, but never really bothered to take take the opportunity and run with it. And so I thought it was really good. I recommend it. Go watch The Kingsman and go watch Little Giants because it still holds up today.
Yeah, watch them back to back. What the
Oh,
hell?
hey,
Pick
that's
a
what I
day.
did. Some of the other I want to get hit up on some big movie news. It's kind of a combination between movie and TV. Uh, MacGyver. Do you remember MacGyver?
I do remember MacGyver.
Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of it. I wasn't at the correct age. I still wanted to be outside doing shit at that time. I wasn't old and tired like I am now.
Well, maybe now you will check it out again because there is news that MacGyver is going to be returning to both the big and small screens, according to Lionsgate. And they have the news is that they have a film based on the beloved 1980s adventure series, while CBS plans to bring the concept back to the small screen. So we don't know how this is going to be handled yet. We don't know uh, if it's going to be a complete reboot or if it's going to be handled like Creed, where maybe Richard Dean Anderson's there and he's bringing along a new guy or something along that lines. But this supposedly the original creator of this is back in the fold for it. So I love the TV show. I thought it was great. I didn't realize that there was a 5-part miniseries in the comic books of MacGyver, so I'm gonna have to go back and find those. So, but yeah, I think this is a great idea. I hope it works. I hope it comes out.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see who they pick to play MacGyver. I think I I don't know. I think the time may be right for something like that. What the
Yeah.
hell?
I mean, the reboots seem to be doing really good, and I mean, they could, they could do a reboot like almost like a Batman Begins type thing, tell a new, set it all up. The big concern that I have for it is that they want to make this a more modern tale. They want to kind of bring it back into you know current times, which the original TV series was kind of set in the time period it was shown in. So that would have been the 80s. But the problem is with all the technology and everything that they have now, it's gonna really suck if all it is some guy on his cell phone being able to like hack into stuff and do stupid stuff on his phone.
Yeah,
That's gonna be dumb. It
yeah. We want them to make bombs out of bubble gum, a paperclip, and
yeah,
India ink or something.
exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that some of that's there, and but I'm a little worried that technology is going to, or that the introduction of a lot of technology is going to make that hard to pull off. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So
Yeah, if it turns into a hacker show, then like you, I wouldn't be too interested. But if he has to hold tanks together with chewing gum, then I'm in.
yeah, yeah. And while we're you know on the line of TV shows, there's been some news on Marvel has found their Iron Fist. They have found, let's see, he is an actor from Game of Thrones. His name is Finn Jones, and he is going to be playing Danny Rand in the Marvel Iron Fist Netflix series.
Yeah, and I looked at his picture, and I don't remember him in Game of Thrones. But
I don't know who he is in the Game of Thrones, but the look, the picture that on the link that I found, which we'll put a link to it in the description on the YouTube page, is definitely fits. Like that looks like Danny Rand. I mean, or cut his hair a little bit shorter, but the blonde curly hair. For those of you that don't know, Danny Rand, a lot of people have there was a lot of talks when they said they were going to do an Iron Fist TV show or an Iron Fist Netflix series, that they wanted this was the opportunity for Marvel to bring in an Asian actor, an Asian lead role. But the problem with doing that, which it makes sense if you look at it from the surface, that, Iron Fist is a kung fu fighter. You bring in an Asian guy to do kung fu. Okay, sure, I get that. But the problem is, the thing that makes Danny Rand so unique is the fact that he wasn't Asian. He was a white playboy. Like, he was Bruce Wayne. He was the guy whose family owned a big corporation, and he was the heir to it all. And he was, a pompous, been handed everything on a silver platter kid, and then ended up, his parents ended up dying in a expedition type thing. They decided to, I think it was climb Mount Everest or something like that, and the only one that survived that was Danny, and it was because the monks, the Shaolin monks, found him and brought him to their monastery and basically trained him to be the Iron Fist. That's how he survived. And so it's this idea that this pompous, no good punk, rich playboy is really the Iron Fist. If that would have it wouldn't have worked as well. That story, that origin wouldn't have worked as well if they went with an Asian actor. Because it takes out that, I don't know, ironic, I guess. I don't know if that's really the right word, but you expect, that's even bad. That sounds really racist, and I don't mean that to sound racist, but you expect an Asian guy to be able to do kung fu in a Netflix series. I don't expect that from all the guys that I would see walking down the street, but that's kind of misses the point. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It was a quick look. The search for they picked Finn Jones fairly quickly, so we'll see. We'll see as we start seeing some more stuff on it. Start seeing some pictures of him.
Yeah, and it said in the quote that he came in with his take of Iron Fist and it blew him away. So that pretty much captivates you right there. It's like, I'm curious to what his take on Iron Fist is going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know who Iron Fist is, stay tuned for more episodes of Geek Vice, because I'm going to I will, of course, do my awesome hero history of Iron Fist. And I'll do that sometime between now and when Iron Fist starts. How about that for nailing it down for you?
There it is.
So the other thing I wanted to throw out there was, how about Daredevil Part 2? Did you see Daredevil Part 2?
I watched the trailer this evening. Loved it.
What did you think of that trailer?
I like it. Elektra looks pretty damn awesome. Here's my take, and you can tell me if I'm an idiot or I'm just reading too much into this. But doesn't the trailer kind of scream, if you take away all the superhero stuff and all the good guy, bad guy stuff, doesn't it just kind of come down to guy leaves all his friends behind because of his new girlfriend?
It could.
That's what I got when I watched the trailer. It's like, he's telling Foggy to piss off. He's doing everything Elektra tells him to do. Yeah. I think that's the basis of this whole season is Daredevil's pussy whipped and he leaves his friends behind.
It's definitely possible. I mean, the trailer does bring that out a little bit. It's curious. Well, first of all, I think this trailer was a much better trailer for Daredevil than part one. Part one seemed to be a trailer for Punisher, and this one was a trailer for Daredevil.
Yeah,
Um,
Punisher only had one slight little scene, and he had a scope in his face, and you couldn't even really see him.
yeah, and so um, I'm kind of curious what this means. Like, I don't know if maybe there's some symbolism to even just the two-part trailer thing, that maybe the first half of the TV show, or first half of the season is going to be about Punisher, and the second half's going to be the Elektra storyline, or vice versa, or if it's going to be intermingled. Um, some things to that I took out of the part two trailer was one, that they actually said the hand, which is important because that is the evil ninja organization that Daredevil has been fighting against for ever in the comic books. That is who Elektra is part of. And
Okay.
actually, in the comic books, that's even uh, Daredevil actually takes over as the person in charge of the hand at one point. So it's possible, it's actually very possible that maybe they take this season in that direction, and that might actually be where that feeling of him just following his new girlfriend off, and leaving everybody else behind, that could happen. Like that might actually be what happens here. This might be where he joins and starts leading the hand. Um, some of the other things that you're trying to figure out where the connections between the two, between Punisher and the hand, if there's going to be a connection there. The one that kind of, and it's a bit of a stretch, but the one that I kind of pull together is the hand is big into resurrection. The hand is almost kind of like the Raja Ghul assassins from the DC world.
Okay.
Um, so they bring back their warriors constantly. Elektra has died multiple times, and they've brought her back. So there could be this thing where maybe the Punisher is hired kind of by the hand to get rid of Daredevil, with the promise that they will resurrect the Punisher's, Frank Castle's family that died. Um, I don't. That seems a little bit of a stretch, but that's the closest thing I can think of that gets the two, that gets the hand and Punisher on the same side. But it could just be that it ends up being almost, maybe it's still just a triangle. Maybe they write it in that Frank Castle's family was killed in one of the big explosions that Daredevil basically let happen, and Frank Castle maybe blames Daredevil. Maybe he blames the hand too. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to connect, and that's where I'm curious to see how this goes. Um, but it's really cool. I like this trailer. I like this trailer better than the first one, and it
Yeah.
makes me super stoked for this to come out in a couple of weeks.
The first season was pretty gritty, pretty action packed. I think this second season is going to be just as gritty, but I think it's going to be even more action, if
Yeah,
that's even possible. But according to the way this trailer made it look, holy cow!
yeah, I agree there. The other thing to keep an eye out for, I believe, if you go back and watch the first season, the ninja that Daredevil fights towards the end, that's all in red. I think
Mm-hmm.
his name was Nobu. Um, he That outfit right there is a very hand type outfit. So you'll see a lot more of things that look like that, more than likely, when you're dealing with the hand. And so I'm curious to see if maybe this guy makes an appearance, even though he was caught on fire and basically left for dead by Daredevil. Um,
Yeah, but we know in movies and TV shows being left for dead doesn't mean you're dead.
Exactly. Well, and especially when the hand's involved, that's like saying Oliver Queen is dead in an Arrow episode. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back. So, um, so it could be the same thing in this, and also I'll be curious to see if we watch for that and see if maybe that shows up. So,
Yeah,
really
I'm pretty
good.
excited about this, and we're only a couple of weeks away. So
Yeah, I believe it comes out 2 weeks from this Friday. I believe it is March 18th.
that sounds right.
So I've already got it. I've already got it saved in my queue in Netflix. So it's right at the top, first one. So as soon as it's available, I'm gonna start watching it. The other thing that I want to throw out there, this kind of you're the expert when it comes to 80s TV shows. Did you ever see an 80s TV show called Tale from the Dark Side?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember a whole hell of a lot, but I do remember it being a thing.
Yeah, it was a anthology horror TV series created by George Romero, and it debuted in 1983. They kind of compared it to The Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits, Tales from the Crypt type show. Well, this it ran from 83 to 88. They did a movie in the 90s about it. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is it's actually, I guess it's getting rebooted or maybe added on to. I was curious as I did my research to this. I didn't realize that they were trying to bring this back in a TV series. But it basically the person who wanted to bring it back was Joe Hill. Um, and Joe Hill is, for those of you that don't know, is Stephen King's son and also wrote an incredible comic book series called Lock and Key. So go read Lock and Key because he's an amazing writer. He does a great job telling stories. Well, apparently a couple years ago, Joe Hill tried to get this rebooted on TV on the CW, and it didn't get picked up. He tried to get it on Sci-Fi and talked to a few other cable networks, even possibly on Hulu, but again, nobody picked it up. So the announcement that came out last week was he is going to reboot it. It's just not going to be on TV. He's going to make a 4-issue comic book series that's titled Tales from the Dark Side. So this, to me, this is awesome because one, he's bringing back his artist from Lock and Key, which is Gabriel Rodriguez. He is a fabulous artist, just incredible artwork, and Gabriel Rodriguez teamed up with Joe Hill doing the writing. The stories are going to go, if you like the type of stories that you got from Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, you're gonna love this stuff. And I haven't even read it yet, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, if it's anything like from the '80s, it'll be pretty good. Because about that time, there was a lot of those kind of shows. There was Tales from the Crypt. There was it was either the Hitchhiker or the Hitcher. I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was one of those Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side kind of thing where each episode was completely unrelated with the one before and weird shit happened. The 80s loved that stuff. So if they could do that again, you don't even have to match anything from the 80s. You can just pick it up and go.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think this
craziness.
Yeah, I think that's where this thing's going to win out because he could just tell any story he wants and it's going to fit perfectly. So I'm stoked to see what comes out of it. The only downside of this whole thing is it doesn't come out until June of this year. So we've got a few months to wait before it comes out, and then more than likely it's it's probably going to be, it's not going to come out in 4 weeks. It's going to come out in 4 months. It'll come out once a month.
Yeah.
So, like comic books do. So, um, unfortunately, there's that to it. But if this is if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see it on TV, I will tell you right now, go buy these comic books, because Joe Hill has had lots of people contact him about writing or about turning his Lock and Key series into a TV show. So far, the problem that I've heard with him making it into a TV show is the stuff that's covered in his comic book, the way the story works and the story that's told. He can't show it on TV. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
loved that as well.
Yeah, it's almost too dark. So, um, so that's why Lock and Key hasn't made it to TV. But I'll tell you this right now: I'm positive with the way the rumors and stuff were out that he was trying to get this into a TV series. I'm almost positive that he's got somebody that's at least interested in it, and he's doing this comic book in order to drum up some more stuff about it and get somebody going, oh yeah, there's a big enough audience, let's do this. So
yeah, it would be perfect for Netflix, I think.
Yeah,
that way he has more license to kind of do what he wants, make it more real.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to see some more of that. I'd love to see Lock and Key on Netflix, and I just want to see what he can come up with here. The stories that he tells are just, I mean, they're very Stephen King-esque, and he's a very Stephen King-esque writer since, it's his son.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, this must be genetic. So, that's all I got for tonight. How about you? You got anything else you want to throw out there?
Well, I talked about flipping around trying to find something. That won't last long because we just alluded to Daredevil in 2 weeks.
Yep.
This Friday, House of Cards begins.
Oh, that's right.
Next Friday on, I can't remember if it's Hulu or Amazon Prime, Bosch. If you've ever read the books,
yeah,
this is season 2 of Bosch. It's fantastic.
I heard season 1 was pretty good, but I never watched it.
Season 1 was great, and it was done in a way where it just felt like, since you could binge watch, it just felt like you watched a really long movie, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Everything was connected, everything flowed. The main bad guy was pretty freaking awesome. Cool. So I highly recommend Bosch. So that's March 11.
So what you're saying is your problem of not having anything to watch is going to go away here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but the problem is okay, so House of Cards will come out March 4th. By March 6th, I'll have watched it all and be bummed. And then Bosch comes out on March 11th, and by the time I leave for Oklahoma City on the 13th, it'll all be over with and I'll be bummed.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil, I'm going to have to wait because I will be out of town. And then when I come back, we'll binge watch it.
Yeah.
And I'll be bummed that it's over.
Well, hopefully by then there'll be some more stuff out there for you to watch. I mean, we are getting close to the summer break, believe it or not, and the end of some of these seasons. And then they're going to start showing up on your streaming services. So.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that because a lot of stuff I have just kind of let lapse. And, of course, it's not on Hulu or Netflix or anything in its entirety. So,
yeah.
So when it does hit Netflix, I'll be able to catch up.
That is true. So, all right, everybody, go follow us on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. You can also check us out on Google Plus and Facebook. Just search for Geek Vice. You can also follow us on Twitter You can follow that guy over there at Kip Killigan. You can follow me at Geek Vice. And I also want to throw out there that you can go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can get there by, I think you can actually go to YouTube/GeekVice, but you can also go to tiny.cc/GeekVice. That will take you right to our channel. Go subscribe to it, because when these shows go live, you'll get updates when they go live. You will also, you'll actually, by subscribing to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch our episodes. You'll be able to get an episode before anyone else who's watching the podcast, because the podcasts come out on Wednesday and we record these on Monday. And when they are recorded, they go live on Monday. So you can get the heads up there. You can also check out our new playlist that we have going. It's called Geek Vice Gaming, and it's me playing games poorly, badly, whatever the right word there is.
Either or.
Yeah. I'm not good at video games. I just like playing them. So we're gonna start doing that. The first couple was Legendary, my solo run of Legendary. We're gonna do some more board games on there too. Kip and I just have to get scheduling down right, so we can do some more of that. Maybe even bring in a few more people to do some of those. But I've also put up there XCOM, Enemy Unknown. I started with that. We're also going to do Transformers, War of Cybertron. And I'm trying to get a few more things lined up, a few more games lined up to go on there for me to play and record for you guys. Some of them might actually be before the game's released. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel so you can have the updates on that when it happens.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And, of course, you can always email us with any questions, concerns, or topics you want us to talk about, or just to tell us how stupid we are. You can email us at geekvice@gmail.com, and we will talk to you next time.
See ya.